My name is Narene Frankel and this is my presentation on Karl Gerstner. I see design as a matter of solving problems, art as a matter of inventing them. Karl Gerstner. Karl Gerstner was born in Switzerland in 1930. He was an artist, a designer, a typographer, and author. He studied design at Alamine in Basel. Gerstner was an apprentice typographer for artist Fritz Bühler from 1944 to 1948, and he also worked alongside graphic designer Armin Hoffmann. In 1949, Gerstner set up his own design studio. In 1955, Marcus Cutter and Karl Gerstner developed pamphlets on planning in which they used lines of bold monotype. In 1958, Gerstner and Marcus Cutter formed an advertising agency called Gerstner and Cutter. In 1962, they partnered with Paul Gridinger to form GGK, a leading advertising agency in Switzerland with offices in European countries and US. Designing Programs was published in 1963, a collection of essays which discussed a method approach to design and typography, a mathematical approach to form and design. Gerstner used the aesthetics of typography to aid the information and communication of these ideas. I particularly like this image here on the right, where it shows the bottle being opened and the fizz of the bottle sort of coming out slightly as being the typography. Gerstner's program, designed in 1964 to 1967, format had 16 versions, 8 were regular and 8 were italic. They were first published in a diatype, a manual machine used in phototypesetting of text. The text was later restored by Stephen Mueller in a digital version in 2017. In the early 60s, Gerstner used many visual experiments to create optical distortions, including the use of lenses made of engineered plastic called plexiglass. Gerstner's work was displayed in New York's Museum of Modern Art in 1973, showcasing his methods of philosophy, and was entitled Think Program. Gerstner was a pioneer of the 20th century typography, and in particular his development of flexible grid. His thinking on computational systems, described as programs, and use of unjustified text. Gerstner's work in the 70s saw color experimentation of strong, bold colors and the use of shapes to convey a message. The collection Sound of Color saw the experiment of gradient placement and color, which created dimension and optical illusion within its work. I particularly like this example because it shows that stepped gradient. So it's not just like a smooth gradient of blended colors, there's an actual step within the gradient, which creates that optical illusion. Today, Karl Gerstner's legacy lives on. He has been nominated for the New York Art Directors Hall of Fame and awarded the Grand Prix of Design by Swiss Cultural Office, among many of his well-known achievements and accolades. And here we just have a few examples of other works. In particular, I like this one, where the coffee or tea steam is coming out, and it's the words, and then obviously the person drinking that as well, and it going to the mouth. Thank you. That concludes my presentation.